I am going to try my best not to be long-winded and ramble, but here we go. Greetings everyone, welcome to my channel, my Lioness journey. I am the lovely Lioness Michelle, and yeah, today I want to speak to the side chicks and the new women. And honestly, I come from a place of love. I really do. I do not come from a place of judgment, especially with the side chick, side relationship situation. I am a woman that was in a narcissistic, abusive relationship altogether for 14 and a half years. I have had my share of finding all types of numbers and going through the whole reaching out to try to get information if I do find a number, the threats of being cheated on. It's not a good feeling for any woman that's watching this that is a wife or was a wife, and you understand what I mean by that. But I figured I would break it into two categories and speak about my perspective and how I feel about this particular topic. And I'll split it into two categories or two sections. And I want to first start with side woman, side relationship. Again, I do not come from a place of judgment. I do realize that you could have become a side woman, a side relationship, knowingly or unknowingly. Some kind of way you found yourself in that situation. What I want to speak to you all about, side women, what I want to speak to you all about is when you all enter into a relationship with the man, and let's say knowingly, or now you know, okay, you started out, you didn't know, and now you know. Number one, the first thing I want to mention is cheating is a choice. That man may have told you that, oh, the wife stopped cooking, she gained weight, she lost weight, she no longer wears lingerie or whatever. The man cheats because he wants to cheat, okay? He already knew he wanted to cheat. If a man is cheating, he wants to cheat. The same with a woman. If you decided to cheat, you are a cheater. In this day and age, at the time of recording this is 2021. There are many options and availability when it comes to a type of relationship you want. I believe it's called polyamorous, where people have multiple relationships where everyone is willing and open to be with other people. You have shows like the Sister Wives. You have these opportunities to just automatically find someone that is open to having multiple partners. So when a person get with someone and they're saying that it's monogamous, this is the understanding that everyone has, not monogamous until you do something that I don't like or something like that, because I do feel like in relationships you could find a way to, if you're feeling tempted, either you could leave or you can find a way to get some therapy or do something to find a way to spice your marriage or your relationship back up. So, when you all hear this, she's doing this and she's doing that, or what she's no longer doing, it's still that man's choice. There's, in my opinion, and again, these are my opinions, there's no reason why this man should cheat on his wife or his fiance. Now, of course, women, I'm trying to say this, men cheat and women cheat on their husbands. They absolutely do. However, because I am a woman, I cannot speak from a man's experience. I don't, I'm not a man, and I don't understand how a man feels when he's being cheated on or have been cheated on, or his wife had a side man. So I can't speak from that perspective. Again, I say I don't come from a place of judgment. I really do come from a place of love. This is something else that I want to mention to you all that find yourself in a side relationship with a married man or a man has been in a relationship long term. You are a woman just like she is. And when this man is telling you all that she's not doing, all that she is doing, stop doing, now she's this, she's mean or whatever. If you are single and you have been in a relationship before, if you started out doing things in your relationship, say you dressed up, you wore lingerie or whatever you done for your husband or your long-term companion, what stopped you if you stopped? What were some things that happened in your relationship that made you decide to no longer do these things? Because there's multiple sides, and you know the saying, there's three sides. There's the man, the woman, or whomever in the party, right? There's one person's side, there's the other person's side, and then in the middle lies the truth. So just as sure as that man is telling you these things, what she's not doing, I'm not happy or whatever, you are a woman too. So put yourself in her shoes. When I was in relationship with such and such, and if I started doing something or I stopped, why did I start or why did I stop? Sometimes the men are lying. Sometimes the wives have no issues or problems with doing any of these things that the man is asking for. Me personally, when I was married, I had to not feel well, like really not feel well to say no to my husband. I was not a person that was like, I didn't use sex as a punishment. So I didn't say, oh, you pissed me off? It's on lockdown for 2 weeks and you can't touch me for 2 weeks. Now, of course, if we had a disagreement, neither one of us wanted to initiate anything because we had, some type of a disagreement. But my relationship, my marriage was actually, dysfunctional. But what I'm saying is I did not use sex as a form of punishment. I had no problem with doing things that I felt like was necessary to keep my husband happy, but also within, I'll say, like it was certain things I just wouldn't be open up to. So I wouldn't be open up to having a third party in the bedroom. But as far as a one-on-one between myself and my husband, I had no issues with doing things to satisfy him. I had no issues with putting on clothes. I had no issues with doing a little show for him. I had no issues with that. So sometimes these men are telling you that the wives, she's not this and she doesn't dress up or whatever, and that's a lie. But then sometimes she was, and then maybe the way he's been treating her, maybe he's abusing her, maybe he's neglecting her. There's no telling what that man has done. He could be a narcissist like my ex-husband was, to where I'm doing all these things and all of a sudden I start feeling not appreciated, or I don't feel like a woman. Whatever the female version of emasculation is, I'm feeling that. And so therefore, I don't feel sexy enough to put on a lingerie or whatever consistently because I feel beaten down. And so again, you have some women, they have no problem with doing all this stuff for their husband, and the man is just greedy. And a lot of you do not take the time to consider that. You see the man, he looks good, he smells good, he's willing to throw you a couple of dollars or whatever he's doing for you, and you don't stop to think that, okay, he's saying all of this and he's saying all that, yet he won't leave. And then the excuse is because of my children. Children don't keep people together. I have children with my ex-husband. When I finally got fed up, and my children are still school-age children, I left. Children don't keep people there. So whatever this excuse this man is telling you, a side woman relationship is like starting a job, entering a job with no chances of promotion. Like you enter that job and you've already reached the glass ceiling. There is no advancement for you in that relationship, and that is something to consider. If by any chance him and that woman divorce and he decides to stay with you, Okay, before I move further with that, I remember, very ironic, I don't even know why we were having this conversation, but I was having a conversation with my ex-husband, and he said, you know, if I cheated on you and I was with this woman and she was willing to cheat on me with you and you left me because of that, I couldn't make her my woman. She couldn't be my main woman because I wouldn't trust her. And I remember thinking like, this is interesting, you know, but okay, it's you, but it's interesting. So if by any chance, now back to my point, if you are going to be the main woman, like he done said all this and you like, finally she gone and him and I can be together, now we can have this relationship. Now that you're the new her, eventually someone is going to have to be the new you. Someone will eventually be the side chick. He will eventually have some issues with you. You're not with that man day in and day out. You're not there washing his underwear, cooking his food, taking care of his babies. You're not there doing the daily in and out. Eventually, if you two do live together, you're going to see things about each other that you two don't like. You're not going to always have your best face and your best foot forward. It's just impossible because none of us are perfect. And so I just feel like a lot of times you all find yourself in a situation bashing and judging the wife and not taking into consideration that, one, I'm a woman just like her. If I've been cheated on, I know what that feels like. What lies or whatever did this man tell about me so that he can get in this woman's underwear? Now, I do want to just say this because I know some incredible, wonderful men. Not all men are greedy and not all men are cheaters. And even if a man thought, you know, like, okay, I want to cheat. Let's say you might have had a man that cheated once or however that went. Wife finds out, he feels terrible about it, they make it work, they find a way to make it work, they move forward. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the man or a situation like that, because I feel like in situations, you all know what are deal breakers for you, and people that are in relationships, you know what's a deal breaker. Like, I can't do one indiscretion, I can't do any indiscretion, whatever that may be. But I do feel like there are some men that absolutely do not cheat. You know, they see women, they're like, oh, she's beautiful, she's sexy or whatever, but I don't want to cheat on my woman. I have enough discipline. I'm good where I am. I'm not expecting my woman to be perfect. She's perfect for me and we know how to work out our things. Or there's some men early on in a relationship, they may have stepped out once, they worked it out, and now he decided he's never going to do that again. But I'm not speaking about those men, because there are some kings, there are some awesome men that's holding it down. They're not greedy. They appreciate what they have and they take care of what they have. I am talking about the ones that, oh, she's not dressing up. And then a lot of women get online, because I've seen stories online where some kind of scandal come out. You see the man's wife and you be like, oh, I see why he cheated on her. Look how she looks or whatever. You have no clue. And I'm speaking to the women that go on and judge women. You have no clue what's going on in them people's house. You don't know if that man is beating her. You don't know if she's terrified. You don't know what she's been through as a child that led her to a man like that. You don't know how she started out and how she ended up like that. For myself, when I met my husband, I was fly. Yes, I'm aging myself. I was fly. Hair done. I was a loose natural. I wasn't locked yet. I was a loose natural. And they didn't have lace fronts, but I would get my sew-ins, or I wear my natural hair. I don't wear a lot of makeup, but the makeup I did wear was nice. My clothes nice. My place is nice, clean. Like, I had no problem with dressing up, and my little cute pumps, the heels. I had no problems with dressing up for my husband, for giving him a nice little dance. I had no issues with that. But after the years went on and I started getting beaten down and sometimes physically abused or beaten down by his words and stuff like that, then my desire to want to dress up or want to do things to my hair, that decreased, because I did not feel good. I did not feel like myself and I was losing myself. Then they'll take that and they'll go and look for someone, go on these social media, not social media, but on like the dating sites, and tell the new woman, she don't dress up, she doesn't tell me I'm handsome. She doesn't do that. But they're not telling you what the hell they done for why that woman feel that way, or why she does not dress up, or why she's not doing the things that he used to like. Here's another thing I want you all to consider. Why is he still there if he's so miserable? Why isn't he just available? Why does he have to tiptoe around with you? He can talk to you, got to talk to you in the car, or when she took the kids to the park or something, and then got to hurry up, get off the phone. Let me explain something to you about these men, and they go on, they tell you all this and that, and they're miserable. When we are onto this and we tell them we no longer want them, they are begging, even if they're being manipulative and deceitful, they are begging and crying, please don't leave me. I love my family. I don't want to lose my family. These women here, I'm going to throw away this number. I'm not going to call this woman again. She just the H word or whatever. She ain't nothing. Please don't leave. And they cannot stay from in between our thighs. And yes, hopefully this doesn't get me flagged or in some type of trouble. But the wives, yeah, as much as if we keep opening, they'll stay in there. They're gonna just mess with you or whatever on the phone with you. Like, they're playing both. They're playing home and they're playing you. So they'll tell you, oh, me and my wife haven't had sex in weeks, or it's not the same, or she doesn't do this and that. And then they'll stay touching their wives. If the wives are willing, they'll stay there, or they'll stay wanting the wives to hook them up. You know, it's like they're saying that, oh, they're disgusted. How a man gonna lay in the bed next to his wife of God knows how long and not be attracted to his own wife, or not at least want to touch her? She's right there. It's available. It's convenient. All he has to do is roll over, touch. If she say yes, they're gonna get it in. So to think that a man is laying next to, and he tell you he's sleeping in the other room, he ain't sleeping in no other room. 9 times out of 10, that man is in the bed with the wife, touching her, okay, and loving every bit of it. So all I'm saying is think, because like I said earlier, you're like on a job with no room for advancement, and eventually you would have wasted many years of your life when you could have been with someone where you're the main and your picture's out there on the social media. I'm saying, you know, someone that is worthy of your time, okay? But being a side woman and bashing the wife and talking about her to your girls, and oh, if you dress like this and you did all this, he wouldn't cheat on you. That's a lie. Remember Holly Berry, the gorgeous Holly Berry that graced us on the page of, was it People? I don't remember what magazine, as the most beautiful woman ever, or however they posted, and she was married to that handsome man, whatever that man name was, and he cheated on her, and he came out and said he was a sex addict. Now, I ain't in their bedroom or whatever, or know how often they had sex or not had sex. But one thing I can say is no one can say that she was frumpy. So if anybody want to say, well, Holly isn't pretty, she wasn't doing her hair, whatever, hell, she could pay people to put her clothes on her. So that's one thing we can all agree on, is that she wasn't frumpy. So this man admitted he was a sex addict. Now, as far as if she was mean, this and that, you know, that's between the two married couple, you know, the two people in the marriage or that long-term relationship to work out. So if that man is like, my wife is mean, she doesn't say this, she doesn't do this and that. Well, why are you still there, brother? Why are you still there? Why you don't love yourself enough to get yourself out of a situation where you can be with someone that wants you? And you as a woman, why are you listening to that? And why don't you want something for yourself where you ain't got to tiptoe around and got to go out of town just to eat a burger or whatever you eat? Where you could just go up the street to eat the burger or the fries or whatever. Like, why are you settling? And if you're choosing to be a side woman, why do you feel the need to attack the wife? We're all women. Why are you attacking the wife? Just understand that if by some chance, whether it's that man or another man, if you end up getting married, the same thing can happen to you. It can. You get in that marriage and you're thinking, oh, he's not gonna whatever with me. My body is like this, and I dress like this, and my makeup is always on point, or whatever. And eventually that man get tired of you, and if it's already in his nature to be a cheater, he's going to cheat on you too. And you can be spinning and swinging, and you can have a pole in your bedroom, and you can do all that. And if he's greedy and he's immature, and if that's what he's led by, then you will be cheated on too, and lied on and told to somebody else. So yeah, I know it's going to be a little long-winded, but I just had to say that because what really prompted this is this one young lady. I'm not going to say these people's names, but so many people came for that young lady about her man. Ooh, look at her. Look at her. Look at her hair. Or look at this. Or look at her clothes. No wonder why he cheat. No, what if he's just unappreciative? We don't know how she looked before she looked like that. We're seeing someone that's torn down probably. And then if he feel like what she got on, what she looked like isn't enough, he should just leave. That's my thing, is leave. Why sit there and have somebody there you know you're not attracted to in any form or fashion? You don't want to touch the woman or whatever. She just there because she got some kids. But you get a nanny. Get a nanny. She's your wife, not your nanny. You know, and so to just judge this woman and be like, oh, this is why. No, it's because he choose to. If you step out on your man or your dude, it's because you chose to. You could say he's not treating me right or whatever, and you may not be wrong in the fact that he's not treating you right or respecting you. Those are facts. But how you choose to deal with those actions says a lot about you. Not in a judgmental way, but just in a way in which how you choose to. You leave them, you cheat on them, you try to have therapy, you try to talk to them to say, hey, I'm at my boiling point. But if you cheat, you want to cheat. If you steal, you want to steal. Whatever we do these things by choice. So that man is cheating on his wife because he chooses to. And he will tell you anything you are willing to listen to, hear, believe, so that he can get your stuff too. And he will keep you there long enough, as long as you're willing to be around. And he may have another one of you. All of y'all sister wives and don't even know it. And probably the wife. And he is not going to leave that wife. If the wife leave, he probably like, please baby, don't leave me, whatever. He's going to be sad and he's going to cry, whatever. But he's not going to leave the wife, because if he was, he would have left her. And not saying that she's in any better situation, but what I'm saying is consider that. If a person that damn unhappy and miserable, they leave. Okay? In a conversation with that, again, I come from a place of love. Hope you got a takeaway from that. You know, if you feel offended by something that I say, then if you feel offended, then that means you got to look within and say, what is it about what this woman said just now is offending me? That means I have to look within, because I did not judge you. I did not call you out your name. As a fellow woman and a fellow soul, I love you. But if you're offended, that's on you. I'm only responsible for what I say, not for how you receive it. Now on to the new girlfriend. Your new girlfriend, maybe you about to eventually be a fiance, I don't know, but I'm gonna call you the new girlfriend. And I'm gonna say new girlfriend, and I am speaking from a wife's perspective, an ex-wife, and now you're the new girlfriend. I'm also speaking from a perspective of a person that was in a narcissistic abusive relationship again. So I'm going to be speaking more from that tone and from that voice and point of view perspective. Okay, so now you're the new girlfriend, and your man has children with his ex-spouse. I'm not talking about those of you that are experiencing issues with the ex-wives. I will acknowledge that some of you are dealing with ex-wives from hell. These women, I don't know, they can't let go. They need some help. They need some hugs. They need some love. I understand that. My heart goes out to you if you're dealing with a situation like that. You know, you would have to question, is this relationship worth it? Or what could we do to protect ourselves? Or we need to get some type of restraining order, or whatever the heck. So I'm not speaking about you. I am speaking to the women that you all are in a relationship with a man. He has an ex and they have children. If this man is constantly speaking to you, talking about this ex-wife to you, and it's all negative, especially it's all negative, that is a red flag. That is a red flag. Number one, you two are in a new relationship. Unless, you know, I mean, I do understand that when people meet and they meet each other and they're like, oh, okay, are you married, divorced? Or you want to know, right? And you're like, okay, well, I'm divorced, so I'm divorced too. I've never been married, right? You have the back and forth chat. And you may be curious as to, okay, just out of curiosity, why did you divorce? And this person give you something that's like, okay, they give you this answer. It's not long drawn out. It's not very detailed. It's basically like, you know, we were together this length of time. We just couldn't make it work. You know, for the sake of our kids, we went our separate ways and we just co-parent. Maybe they can let you in like, we're not friends, because some people, they're still friends with the spouse. Like, I'm going to let you know ahead of time, my spouse and I, we're friends. We respect each other's boundaries or whatever. Or in some situations, we're not like that. We get along for the kids. But it's pretty much like that, right? It's not going in depth of what how that relationship was or whatever. So if this man is carrying on and on about, and she was like this, and she did that, and I ain't like when she did this, and oh my God, I can't stand that. That's a red flag. That's like many red flags. And that's something that you should consider. Also, if you are in a relationship with this man and you've never met this woman, like they have kids and you haven't met, like y'all haven't met, and he's telling you things about this woman like she feels some type of way about you, and you haven't heard this directly from her mouth, you may want to question that, like, how could a woman that I never met, that I never had a conversation with, that's your ex, that as far as I can tell, she's not calling, she doesn't pop up to the house, she doesn't do anything like that, right? How is she feeling a way about me when she does not know me? Now, I'm bringing this up because, yeah, personal, and I'll share some of the story. My ex narcissistic husband is dating someone, and my children met her. My children like her so far. They like her, and I'm glad that they like her. They should, and hopefully her feelings towards them are genuine. And so this woman tells my children that their dad said that I am jealous of her because she is a better mother. Okay, now I did not say anything because when you have been in a narcissistic relationship and you're doing you're trying to be as no contact as possible, you have to kind of pick and choose some things. Now, I'm going to be honest, that automatically gave me some type of, what's the word I'm looking for? Not judgment, but it kind of altered the way in which I see her already, although I don't know her. What I'm trying to say is not coming to me, but it definitely influenced. Okay, I think that's what I'm trying to say. Influenced that statement to say that to my children. That influenced my way of viewing her, because I'm like, I am definitely not a drama person. I am as low-key, whether it's in a friendship, on a job, in a relationship. I don't like all that drama and all that back and forth. When I was a younger woman, I participated in enough dysfunctional drama. After I passed a certain age, I was like, I don't have the time nor the energy for any of that. Okay, I'm in a different place in space, but my early 20s, oh yeah, I was here for it. But that's not who I am today. Okay, I'm bringing this up, and I gave this example because if you are a new girlfriend, a new whatever, and your man has an ex-wife and they have children, and this man tells you, it's just constantly talking about this woman, because my children overheard when they would visit him, when it was his time to have them, like a visitation, they overheard him talk about me to her, which is very common in narcissistic people. They do that and all, because she's the new supply. And so, you know, of course they come back to tell me, because it makes them feel uncomfortable. Dad said this, he said that, and you know, these different things. But for you new women and new girlfriends in a relationship with a man that has been married, my advice to you is, if that man is telling you, my ex-wife, she doesn't like you, or she's jealous of you, whatever, and you have not had a conversation with this woman never called your phone, she haven't seeked you out on social media, like, let it line up. Like how the saying they say, make it make sense. How is a woman jealous of me that I have no contact with? And when did you have a conversation with her to know that she's jealous of me? Because of course with narcissistic people, they make up stuff. See, what I know what he's trying to do, he's thinking I'm going to reach out to her. These are my thoughts. He's thinking I'm going to reach out to her and say, let me tell you about your man. He's abusive. He may hit you. He may this. I'm not telling that woman any of that. If I don't know why she attracted him and what's in her that has to be healed to not attract a narcissist person. I know what was in me and why I have to do my own self-healing work that led me to attract a narcissist person. It's not my business. My only business and my only concern is that my children are safe and healthy and sound when they visit and they come back home the same way. That's my only concern. What your man is or was or what you all are doing, it's not my business. So what I feel like he's trying to do is already cause like some friction so that she can already feel a certain way about me. So that way, if he's thinking I'm going to go reach out to her, she's like, he've already told me all these things about you. So I was already prepared that you may call me and tell me some stuff. I don't have anything to say to this woman outside of my children. I don't. I feel very sorry for her because I know that she is the new supply. She's a new victim. I know the hell that may be coming her way, and the only reason why I know that it's coming her way is based off of the things that my children have shared that I didn't ask, because children, they just share, and it, you know, things that they said when they came home, like, oh my God, Mom, Dad said this and this and that, and I'm like, oh wow, okay. I'm glad I don't have to deal with that mess anymore. Now, what's the word? I did this. I got off track a little bit. New women. If this man is constantly talking about his ex-wife, constantly, ad nauseum, there's got to be a red flag, women. There's got to be, you two are starting a new relationship. If this man is telling you a woman said this and this and that about you, or she's jealous of you, or she feels insecure about you, and you've never met this woman doesn't come by, she doesn't call you, she doesn't try to find a way to find your social media platform to try to have some side conversation, she doesn't do any of that, you need to start being concerned. On top of that, I would say you need to start investigating. You need to start investigating. I'm saying that too because when I was still in the marriage and it was ending, it was very close time for me to leave. He would, well, throughout the marriage, he stayed on dating sites. But he would be on this dating site, and this is how I knew I was growing. Like, I was really like, I don't care. When I went to the point where early in the relationship, if I found he was on a site, I'll be like, how dare you? And I'm going off and this and that, and then he's, you know, asked for forgiveness or whatever. I'm never going to do it again. But this last time, like when I was looking, because I made sure, I said, when I leave this home, I'm never looking at anything of his again. And I never did. I don't search for him on social media or anything like that. But I would see conversations, and he having conversations with the women. He's telling the women he was divorced and we weren't divorced. He would tell a woman, like the women, to reach out to him. And what did you cook? And he'll say stuff like, let's say I cooked some fish and cheese grits. He'll say, yeah, I cooked for dinner tonight. Now, I'm the one to cook this, but he'll say, I cooked fish instead of cheese grits. He'll say, and I made a salad. Like, so I'm listening to this, and he telling a woman he been divorced for a year. I live here, he lives there. And I'm like, wow. And I'm saying to myself, y'all need to be getting a last name, and y'all need to be doing some Google searches, because y'all talking to these men online. And the man, his disrespectful self would be in the bed right next to me talking to these people. I knew the passwords and stuff. I go, and some of the stuff I'll be like, I'll look like, you so ignorant, somebody. And I'll just look and laugh and be like, first of all, you're ignorant. And number two, this is sad because these women are talking to you. No one's doing their research. No one is looking to see, well, he said this, that, does this line up? A lot of this information is public information. It's free. You can find this stuff online to see if someone is still married or whatever. Now, some of these things, I believe they charge a fee depending on what it is that you're trying to find out. But what I'm saying is, when the man is constantly talking about a person that's just almost like a ghost, they don't show up, they don't communicate with you, and they're telling you all of these things, and then they're trying to already create friction between you and a person that you don't even know, that's a red flag. You need to do some research, and you need to do your homework. You also need to keep in mind, at what point will this man start complaining about me like that, or comparing me to this woman that's so terrible? And listen to the things you're saying, and just kind of like, and research that stuff. If this person says something and they said something slightly off, be like, that's not what they said the last time. And why is it so important to this man to have some kind of friction between you and this woman? Why is it so important for him to paint this woman in a bad light, or make it seem like this woman don't like you, when y'all don't know each other? What good does, especially if they have children, what good does that do for the children? And even if you had a situation where prior to meeting this man, you dealt with some ex-wife that was Looney Tunes, that's a different relationship, a different experience. Make it make sense. Let it line up. If he's saying she's like this, but that's not what you see, then let your spidey senses go up and say, something's not right there. Let me just kind of fill this out, investigate this. I'm going to just kind of and fill this out. And why does he feel the need to talk about her constantly? Does he still have feelings for her? Is he resentful? Okay, because he's starting this relationship still angry, or still feeling some way about this woman, which means he's bringing that energy into our relationship. 9 times out of 10, especially if the woman is not communicating, we don't want that man. We are not jealous of you. We feel sorry for you. We may be praying for you and praying that you don't get the treatment that we receive. That's the real tea. Okay, that's what it really is. Now, if she popping up at your house and doing all this foolishness, then he may be on to something. She is crazy. But other than that, I promise you, I'm speaking from a woman's perspective, or some woman may be like, amen, sister. We don't care. We're so happy we got out of it, and we're trying to heal and take care of our babies and move the hell on with our lives. We are not jealous. We feel sorry for you. We know what's about to happen to you, or what he is capable of. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Okay, for both categories, side woman, new woman, again, not from a place of judgment. This is from a place of love. This was on my heart. I felt the need to share. I felt the need to say this because of misconceptions, a lot of judgment, all of that. So that's it. That's all I have, because this video is very long. If you like it, well, if you're still here, thank you for making it this far in the video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share it. I have, my channel is mostly about healing, my journey with narcissistic abuse, different, forms of abuse like that. And other things will occur on this channel to kind of like spotlight and reflect my healing journey. So if you like videos like that, and you can relate to any of this information, check out the other content. Feel free to subscribe if you feel led in your heart to subscribe to my channel. Again, thank you so much for stopping by. I will chat with you all in a new video. Bye bye for now.